Do you ever feel like there's a secret club about getting older, and nobody sent you the rule book? We see lovely pictures, hear wonderful stories about golden years, grandkids, and hobbies. And yes, those are beautiful parts of life. But sometimes, just sometimes, you might feel a little unprepared for certain things. Things that creep up on you. Challenges you didn't really see coming. And perhaps didn't feel comfortable talking about even if you did. There are realities about this stage of life that are tough. They're not pretty or comfortable, and so they often go unspoken. We tiptoe around them, hoping they won't apply to us, or perhaps feeling a sense of shame if they do. But here's the truth. These are shared experiences, part of the rich, complex tapestry of living a long life. Ignoring them doesn't make them go away. In fact, facing them, understanding them, can be incredibly freeing. In this video, we're going to gently and honestly look at 5 of these harsh truths about getting older. Not to scare you, but to equip you, to acknowledge the unspoken, and maybe, just maybe, help you feel a little less alone. These aren't comfortable topics, but facing them head-on with wisdom and grace can make the journey ahead so much richer and more peaceful. Stick around to the end, because there's something I want to share that might truly surprise you about navigating these realities. Let's dive in, shall we? The first harsh truth, one that often catches people off guard, is how much your social world is going to change. You spend decades building a life, a community, a network of friends, colleagues, family members. Your diary is full, your weekends booked. Then, gradually at first, and sometimes quite suddenly, things shift. People move away, sometimes to be closer to grandchildren, sometimes for health reasons, sometimes just for a change of pace. Friends you've known for decades, people who were constants in your life, might pass away. Colleagues retire, and those daily interactions, the shared jokes, the water cooler chats, they simply disappear. Family dynamics change as children grow into adults with their own busy lives and new families. It's not that anyone loves you less. It's just that the structure of your connections, the easy, frequent interactions you relied upon, they begin to erode. This isn't just about feeling a bit lonely now and then. It's about the fundamental change in the landscape of your daily social life. You might find yourself with fewer invitations, fewer casual drop-ins, fewer people who understand your shared history, the inside jokes from 30 years ago. It can leave a real void, a sense of being disconnected from the rhythm you were used to. It's a harsh truth because society often paints a picture of retirement as endless socializing. But the reality for many is a shrinking circle, a quieter phone, more empty chairs at the table. It takes conscious effort to maintain the connections you have, and even more effort to forge new ones, which can feel daunting after a lifetime of relationships forming more organically through work or raising children. Think about the friends you saw regularly for coffee, or the couples you used to go out to dinner with. Have those meetings become less frequent? Have some of those faces sadly disappeared from your life? This isn't a failing on your part. It's a consequence of time passing and life happening. Acknowledging this truth is the first step. It allows you to be proactive rather than just letting isolation happen to you. What can you do? It means being intentional about reaching out. It means picking up the phone instead of waiting for it to ring. It means saying yes to invitations, even when you don't entirely feel like it. It means exploring new avenues for connection, perhaps a local club, a volunteer group, an online community centered around a hobby you enjoy. It requires stepping outside your comfort zone, which can be hard when you're used to connections flowing easily. It's about adapting your social muscles, finding new ways to build bridges in a world that's constantly changing around you. This shifting social landscape is a profound reality of getting older, one that requires awareness and effort to navigate successfully. Now, flowing naturally from how our life structure changes. Let's talk about something else that often surprises us: our physical body. The second harsh truth is that your body won't just slow down. It will likely surprise you in ways you didn't expect, and often not in pleasant ones. We all know we won't have the energy of a 20-year-old forever. We expect perhaps a few more aches, a bit less stamina. But what often isn't talked about is the suddenness or the specificity of certain changes. One day, your knee just decides it doesn't like stairs anymore, or your digestion becomes temperamental in ways it never was before, or your sleep patterns completely change, leaving you wide awake at 3 a.m. Maybe it's a new diagnosis that requires managing chronic symptoms, or a fall that takes far longer to recover from than you ever imagined. It's the unpredictability and sometimes the swiftness of these physical shifts that can be so jarring. You might feel perfectly fine one day, and the next, a persistent pain or a new limitation makes simple tasks challenging. This isn't just about getting weaker. It's about the body becoming less predictable, less reliable in its function. It can impact your independence, your ability to do the things you love, and even your self-image. You might look in the mirror and see a body that feels less like yours than it used to, a body that perhaps lets you down sometimes. This is a harsh truth because it forces us to confront our physical vulnerability in a way we often haven't had to before. We've spent decades perhaps taking our health for granted, and suddenly, we can't anymore. Dealing with this requires patience and a shift in perspective. It means listening to your body with kindness, not frustration. It means accepting that different doesn't have to mean worse, just that adjustments are needed. This could involve adapting your exercise routine, maybe swapping high-impact activities for walking, swimming, or gentle yoga. It could mean paying closer attention to your diet and noticing how different foods affect you. It definitely means working closely with healthcare professionals, asking questions, and being proactive about managing any conditions. It might involve using aids you never thought you'd need, like a walking stick or grab bars, and letting go of any pride that stops you from doing so. These aren't signs of failure. They are tools that allow you to maintain your independence and quality of life. It's about finding new ways to inhabit your body, to cherish what it can still do, and to support it where it needs help. The unexpected physical changes of aging are a profound truth, and navigating them with acceptance and proactivity is key to maintaining well-being. Understanding these shifts in your social life and physical health is just the beginning of acknowledging the realities of getting older. Moving on from how our external world and physical selves transform, let's explore a third harsh truth, one that touches on our inner lives and daily existence. You'll likely spend more time alone than you ever imagined. We touched on the changing social landscape earlier, the shrinking circle of friends and colleagues, but this goes deeper. As partners pass away, as children are fully immersed in their own adult lives, as the reasons you had for leaving the house every day, work, school runs, clubs linked to your kids' activities diminish, the sheer amount of time you spend in your own company increases significantly. For some, this is a welcome change, a long-awaited opportunity for quiet reflection and pursuing solitary hobbies. But for many, even those who enjoy solitude, the sheer volume of it can be a shock. This isn't necessarily about feeling lonely all the time, though that can certainly be a part of it. It's about the reality of having hours upon hours each day, weeks that stretch ahead, without the automatic structure and company that work, family responsibilities, or a live-in partner provided. The house can feel very quiet. Mealtimes might be solitary events. Errands might be done alone. While there's freedom in this, there can also be an unsettling emptiness. It's a harsh truth because our society often equates being alone with being lonely or undesirable. We're not always taught how to simply be with ourselves, how to fill our time meaningfully in our own company, or how to cultivate a rich inner life that isn't dependent on external interaction. Learning to navigate this increased solitude is crucial for well-being. It's not about becoming a hermit, but about becoming a good companion to yourself. This involves cultivating hobbies you genuinely enjoy, whether it's reading, gardening, painting, playing a musical instrument, or learning something new online. It means creating daily routines that provide structure and purpose. It might involve finding joy in simple things, watching the birds, enjoying a cup of tea in the sun, listening to music. It also means being mindful of the difference between chosen solitude and unwanted loneliness. When loneliness creeps in, it's a signal to reach out, to connect with others, even if it requires effort. This truth highlights the importance of developing resilience and self-sufficiency, of finding contentment and purpose from within, not just from external sources. The quiet hours of later life can be a profound opportunity for self-discovery. If we are willing to embrace them rather than fear them, this leads us to a fourth harsh truth, one that often surfaces during these times of quiet reflection. Regret for paths not taken can become more pronounced. When the demands of work and raising a family filled your days, there wasn't always a lot of time for deep introspection about past choices. You were busy doing, achieving, providing, but with more time alone. With the future perhaps feeling shorter than the past, your mind might naturally drift back. You might think about the career path you didn't pursue, the travel you postponed indefinitely, the relationships you didn't nurture, the risks you were too afraid to take. These aren't just fleeting thoughts. They can sometimes settle in, becoming nagging what-ifs that create a sense of loss or missed opportunity. This isn't about dwelling morbidly on the past, but acknowledging that as you gain perspective. The road not traveled can sometimes seem clearer, perhaps even more appealing than the one you took. It's a harsh truth because you can't go back and change those major decisions. The choices are made, the opportunity's gone. This can lead to feelings of sadness, frustration, or even a sense that you didn't live life to its fullest potential. Society often tells us to have no regrets, which is a lovely sentiment, but perhaps not entirely realistic for a life lived with all its complexities and compromises. Dealing with this regret requires acknowledging it without letting it consume you. It means practicing self-compassion, understanding that you made the best decisions you could with the information and circumstances you had at the time. It means reframing your past, focusing on what you did achieve, the love you did give and receive, the lessons you did learn. And crucially, it means recognizing that while you can't change the past, you can still influence your present and future. Is there a small part of that path not taken that you could explore now? Perhaps you always wanted to write. You could join a writing group or start journaling. Perhaps you dreamed of learning a language. There are classes or apps available. It's never too late to incorporate elements of those deferred dreams into your current life. Acknowledging regret isn't about living in the past. It's about understanding how it shaped you and using that understanding to make the most of the time you have left. It's a powerful, though sometimes difficult, part of the aging process. And this brings us to the fifth, and perhaps most profound, harsh truth. Your identity might shift profoundly beyond your career or family roles, and figuring out who you are now is a lifelong project. For many, identity is strongly tied to what they do, their job, their role as a parent, a spouse, a caregiver. You are a doctor, a teacher, a builder, a parent handling school plays and homework, a spouse supporting a partner. These roles provide structure, purpose, and a sense of who you are in the world. But as you retire, as children become fully independent adults, as partnerships change, these pillars of identity can be removed, or at least significantly altered. This can leave you asking, who am I now? If you're no longer mom or dad in the same daily, hands-on way, if you're no longer defined by your profession, what is left? This isn't a question with an easy answer, and the process of figuring it out can be unsettling. It's a harsh truth because it forces a confrontation with the fundamental self. The person who exists independently of roles and responsibilities. You might discover parts of yourself you forgot existed, or perhaps parts that never had a chance to fully develop. Conversely, you might feel a sense of loss for the person you used to be, the competence and confidence that came with those defined roles. Embracing this identity shift is perhaps the greatest challenge and opportunity of later life. It means moving beyond external validation and finding value in simply being. It involves introspection, exploring your core values, your passions, your interests that were perhaps sidelined during busier years. What brings you joy? What truly matters to you now? This is the time to build an identity based on who you are from the inside out. This could involve pursuing creative interests, engaging in lifelong learning, dedicating time to causes you care about, or simply focusing on personal growth and well-being. It's about constructing a new narrative for yourself, one that is not about winding down, but about continuing to evolve. The surprise I mentioned earlier is this: facing these harsh truths isn't the end. It's the beginning of becoming perhaps the most authentic version of yourself. It's in the quiet moments of solitude, in the acceptance of physical change, in the reframing of regret, and in the rebuilding of your identity, that you find a profound sense of peace and purpose that younger, busier years often don't allow. This stage of life isn't just about managing decline. It's about discovering new strengths, new capacities for joy, and a deeper understanding of what it truly means to be alive. It is a journey of reinvention, if you dare to embark upon it. So, we've explored these 5 truths together: the changing social landscape, the body's surprising shifts, the increase in solitude, the emergence of regret, and the profound evolution of identity. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? And yes, acknowledging these realities can feel a little heavy. It's easy to see them as purely negative, as things to dread or ignore. But that's where the real surprise lies. The secret that transforms these harsh truths from burdens into opportunities. The surprise is this: peace and genuine happiness in later life don't come from avoiding these truths, but from facing them with courage and curiosity. They come from accepting the reality of change, both within you and around you. They come from letting go of expectations based on younger years or societal ideals of aging, and instead, finding beauty and meaning in the life you have right now. That shrinking social circle. It's an invitation to deepen the connections that remain and to be brave enough to form new ones. Cherishing quality over quantity. The unpredictable body. It's a call to listen more closely, to practice radical self-care, and to find new ways to experience movement and joy within your current capabilities. More time alone. It's a golden opportunity to cultivate a rich inner world, to become your own best friend, and to find contentment in solitude. Regret. It's a powerful teacher, showing you what truly matters and inspiring you to weave elements of those missed paths into your present life, proving it's never too late to learn, to create, to explore, and the shifting identity. It's the ultimate freedom, the chance to shed roles that no longer serve you and step into the most authentic, unfiltered version of yourself, defined by your wisdom, your resilience, and your unique spirit. These aren't easy adjustments. Of course, there will be moments of sadness, frustration, and uncertainty. That's part of being human, part of living a full life that includes all its seasons. But by bringing these truths into the light, by talking about them openly, perhaps even sharing this video with someone you feel might understand, we strip away their power to surprise and overwhelm us. We replace fear with understanding, and passive acceptance with active engagement in our own lives. Remember, getting older isn't a passive process. It's an active journey of adaptation, growth, and discovery. Small changes, consistent effort, and a willingness to be honest with yourself can make an enormous difference in your health, your happiness, and your peace of mind during this incredible stage of life. You possess a lifetime of experience, resilience you've built over decades, and a unique perspective on the world. These are immense strengths to draw upon. What resonates most with you from what we've discussed today? Have you faced any of these unspoken truths yourself? Sharing your thoughts and experiences in the comments below can help others feel less alone and build the very community we talked about needing. It's a way to connect and support each other. If you found value in this conversation, please give the video a like. It helps us reach more people who might need to hear this message. And consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future videos where we explore the realities and opportunities of living our best lives at every age. Thank you for spending this time with me, for being willing to lean into these sometimes uncomfortable truths. It takes courage to do so. Embrace the journey, the challenges, and the profound joys that this stage of life offers. Live your best life at every age, fully, authentically, and with an open heart.